Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here, and it's time to start taking a look at Sony's line of phones for this year, starting with the Xperia XA2 Ultra. The XA2 Ultra is more of a mid-range device sitting at that $400 to $450 price point. I'll link to it down below, but the XA2 Ultra looks to bring a new design to their Xperia lineup, and of course they do have a flagship as well I will be covering soon. Click that subscribe button so you're notified, but I want to check out the XA2 Ultra first. Let's get started. To begin, I want to go ahead and open up the box, show you what's inside real quick, show you what you get. Here's down at the bottom a look at the full specs: USB-C, 3580 milliamp hour battery, 6-inch display, 23 megapixel camera, 16 megapixel with optical image stabilization. So pretty promising with the camera. We'll need to definitely test out the camera on this mid-range device. Right away, you do have the phone itself in its packaging. I could go ahead and slide that on out. And there's the phone with a sticker on the back letting you know you have a SIM card and micro SD card slot. I hate that I have to mention this, but it does have a headphone jack up at the top there. Very rectangular design to it right out of the box. A little cold because of the aluminum surrounding it, but I'm going to go ahead and press and hold the power button, which is on the right side here. And while this boots up, let's see what else comes in the box very quickly. Startup guide, the adapter, and the charger, and that's it. You'll see here Sony adapter and USB Type A to USB Type C charging cable. Okay, we are on the welcome screen. It looks like there is a protector on that display that we can peel off for you guys. And then on the back there was that sticker that I can attempt to peel off. Pretty easy to peel off. On the back is that 23 megapixel main camera with a fingerprint scanner below it. On the front is where that 16 megapixel camera is with optical image stabilization. So this might be one of the better selfie cameras there are. On the right side, you do have volume rockers, a circular power button right there. Interesting that they do have a fingerprint scanner now coming to the US. They weren't including those before, but now they are. But it's noteworthy that it's not in the power button like in those other models. It's actually a button on the back. On the bottom right side is something you don't see very often anymore, and that's a physical button to activate the camera and also snap pictures. We can go ahead and test that out in just a second. Down at the bottom here, a speaker, USB Type-C microphone, and then up on the left side is where your SIM slot and micro SD card slot is. For those curious, this is a 6-inch 1080p IPS display. Includes a Snapdragon 630 processor. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm only going to talk about anything that is noteworthy. Let's go ahead and set up that fingerprint scanner real quick on the back. It is in a good placement, very comfortable. Now repeat, you'll see it's moving around my fingerprint scanner as I lift and set down my finger. Fingerprint added, I can add another if I'd like to, but we should be good to go. Good thing about fingerprint scanners is that they're all very, very snappy and quick. I'm sure this one is no different. Xperia services you can sign into. I'm skipping everything for now for the sake of time. And we're all set here. Let's go ahead and hit finish. We are now on that home screen. And Sony does use a skin over the Android operating system, although from the past experiences that I have, it's not too much bloat actually. So first of all, as always in my unboxing videos, straight away go to storage so we can go ahead and see how much is out of the box used. 12.21 gigs out of 32 gigs is used out of the box. Here's the Xperia home launcher. You swipe over, you get to the Google app over there. I do want to jump in the app drawer so you can see the other apps that are installed. And swiping over AVG Pro, Amazon apps, and then of course you got your Google Suite as well. Jumping into settings, scrolling down, let's go ahead and go into system, about phone. It is on Android 8.0 Oreo, which is good news. Not a crazy amount of phones have Oreo at the moment, unfortunately, but it's good to see the XA2 Ultra ships with Oreo. Next up, let's press the physical camera button, and that should launch the camera. This is the first time, so it's loading everything up. Switch capturing mode and camera. I do want to make note, this has a 120 frames per second slow-mo video mode. So that is also similar to that the Galaxy S9 Plus has, or S9 as well. Let's go ahead and snap some quick pictures. Fairly snappy, seems to focus okay as well. Let's go ahead and go into one of these pictures. Sure, why not? And we can swipe on over. Looks just fine. We'll need to do more testing, but that just kind of was a quick test of the shutter speed. There is an intelligent camera mode. Swiping over, you have a manual camera mode. And then video, And one more time, you have a bunch of camera apps where you can shoot 4K video, time shift, burst, sound, photo, panorama, and creative effect. In terms of that camera button, not only does it launch the camera, but if you press it about halfway, you'll see it will actually start to focus there, and then you can press it all the way and it will snap a picture. And of course, there's a 16 megapixel camera with optical image stabilization on the front. Let's go ahead and try it out real quick with a ton of light in my background. And that actually looks really good, not overexposed whatsoever considering how much light is coming in behind me. So that's extremely impressive. So if you do take a lot of selfies, this might be a solid go-to considering that front-facing camera quality. You can also switch to the 120-degree super wide angle lens to include a lot more into your shot. So there's a couple lights in the background, all of me, snap a picture, and again, it doesn't look crazy overexposed. My face is a little dark, but considering all the light that's coming in, this is a very good shot with that front-facing camera. Let's test that fingerprint scanner out real quick. Just go ahead and set it down, and it unlocks. Let's try that again, and we are setting down, and it unlocks it. Let's try it with the display on, set it down, unlocks it right away. As expected, pretty much every fingerprint scanner right now is quick and accurate. I also want to make note that this device has a bit of a curved design look to it. The display itself isn't curved, but the glass on top of the display has a slight curve to it, if you can notice that. So a more round feel, and then looking at the back, there is some round corners on the back. So it is pretty comfortable to hold, and there's also a little bit of weight to it. So it definitely has a solid feel to it. Definitely very solid with that aluminum frame. As I generally like to do, let's jump into settings and see if there's anything out of the ordinary. First of all, appearance, there's themes, so you can really personalize the look, download your Xperia themes and personalize your device, change your grid size, pane transitions, so you have transition animations when you swap. This is, of course, if you use the launcher that was included with the device. Now, as usual, I want to jump into the display settings, and here's color gamut and contrast. You can change to standard mode or a super vivid mode, which does make those colors pop and a little more vibrant, which I'm going to keep it on for the time being. And they have a white balance setting where you can really go and customize your RGB settings. Something I always recommend trying out if you have an Android phone is bump your display size down, especially if you have a larger display. It adds a lot more into the screen itself, a lot more information you can take in without having to scroll. And I just like the overall look better when I bump that display size down. You might not like it, but hey, it's worth a try. So overall, that's about everything I wanted to show off for the time being. Promising device at that $400, $450 price mark. That would be the Sony Xperia XA2 Ultra. Drop a comment, let me know what you're thinking, if you're interested in this device or not, and more to come, of course, so be sure to click that subscribe button. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching.